Hello, welcome to a vlog. Do I know what the theme of this vlog is? No. Was it supposed to be themed? Maybe. Am I fighting off some other version of the plague from hell? Yes. Am I trying to avoid me taking another month off of posting? Also, yes. So we're gonna power through it with some medication. I am currently reading For Human Use by Sarah G. Pierce. I just needed to start this vlog because I've been telling myself I was going to start it for 2 days and I haven't done that yet. I think I filmed like 2 clips of me like being dumb like mirror pictures and stuff. So I am basically going to be trying to read 3 of my library books, so maybe that's the theme of this vlog. Was that the original theme? No, it was not. But this is the book that I feel like everybody and their mother who reads Weird Girl Lit has been like, oh, this is like a dating app, but you get dead bodies. And it's, as somebody who's like 40% into it, it is very much a metaphor for other things going on in the world. And I find it interesting. So there is that. But I've been like slowly reading this over the last few days. I have a few other books that have like 10 plus people. Not 10, I feel like it's like 5 plus people waiting for them. So I'm going to keep filming this vlog until I feel like it's long enough for me to put it up. Welcome to the vlog. This book is so weird, I do not have the brain cells to talk about it right now, so maybe I will remember to film a clip tomorrow before I end up finishing it. Because I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight. It's already almost 9 p.m. This is already chaos. I don't remember how to film weekly vlogs and I'm too stressed to think about it, so this is our opening clip. Hope you enjoy. Hello, vlog update, of which I tried to film a clip earlier and then like was not awake enough to be doing that, so we're gonna try again. So I ended up finishing For Human Use by Sarah something or another. I will say, I picked up this book because of the premise, which is the same reason I feel like everybody is going to pick it up, and it's because it's a dating app for human corpses. As somebody who really enjoys Weird Girl Lit, that should fit perfectly in there. The issue being the first like 25 to even 30% of this, awesome. It was all about the dating app and the company and all of that. And then it turned into a love triangle and had a lot to do with like stocks and investors in said company and the drama involving the said love triangle of people. I ended up giving this 3 stars. I wanted more of the social commentary of what would happen to society. And there were bits and pieces of this that I thought were very interesting. I wanted more of the commentary of what would happen to society if people followed this pipeline down to normalizing said human corpses as if they should have the same rights as actual alive human beings, which is a thing that happens in here, especially with the younger generation. And if the book had focused more on that, I would have loved this so much more, and it probably would have easily been a 4 star. But because that love triangle was like 60% of the book almost, I ended up giving it a 3. I'm not even sure that I recommend it. I think if you go in knowing it's more of like a fiction with this weird element kind of in the background, you might have enjoyed it more. That is not why I read this book. So there's that. I have not started another book. I don't even know if this vlog is going up this week. It might be longer than that because I have like 3 of my books from my library from Libby that are about to like lapse, or not even lapse. I think they have like 3 or 4 people waiting for them, so I need to return them. Or I need to read them in the next like week before they get returned, and I don't have them anymore. So on my TBR currently, I have David Archuleta's book, Devout, which I've been waiting for probably at least a month, if not longer, since it came out when he was on everybody's podcasts. I also have Dark Sisters, which I really wanted to read. And what was the other one? Oh, Yesteryear, which is the Tradwife book, which I have seen such mixed things about it, and I can't tell if it's from people who don't know anything about the Tradwife lore or people who weren't religious. I feel like would not get this book from the premise alone. Be like, what's the problem here? As somebody who came with religious trauma, I feel like this is right up my alley. So those are the 3 that I'm hoping to get to in the next like week or so before any of those holds get passed on to the next person. It's almost 80 fucking degrees here in Detroit, and even though it was literally like 40 like 3 days ago. But I think it's actually going to stay warm this time. and stay above 50 degrees. So I also think we're supposed to get a bunch of storms tomorrow. And as somebody who hates tornado season and storm season anywhere in the Midwest, I'm not looking forward to that. I have a deathly fear of tornadoes. If you did not know, I'm not even sure that I've ever talked about it, or even not even just tornadoes anymore. Of the, what are those called, derechos? The storms that are like in a straight line and like have the same amount of wind power as a tornado, but don't go in a circle. It's like a straight line of just fucking wind and storm. Hate those. That knocked down a tree at my childhood home before we moved last year. It was not a good time. But yeah, this is my official intro to the vlog because I think the one clip that I filmed so far was from me being half asleep and going, I'm gonna start this vlog. Yeah. I'll update you when I actually start one of those 3 books that I just mentioned. Hello, long time no talk. It's been like 2 days. And this is not going up at the time that I wanted it to, but also I've been dealing with so many migraines. Michigan has decided that we're going to get our entire rainfall for the year in the last week. We've had 3, 4 bouts of severe thunderstorms. We've had 8 tornadoes in one night. The other night, all at 3 a.m. We're not doing well. So I have not been sleeping well. That is probably adding to the migraines. But I am currently 60% through Devout. I could go get my iPad. I'm not going to do that. So through Devout by David Archuleta. I've been wanting to read this since it came out. He was on all of my ex-evangelical, like ex-Christian podcasts, and I was really excited to read his book. But also everybody else wanted to read his book, so I was on the holds list at the library forever. But I finally got it in. I'm really, really enjoying it. He's someone that I don't even think I realized how young he was when he was on American Idol. I watched his season of American Idol. There were like 3 or 4 seasons of American Idol that I really, really enjoyed and watched, and then I just kind of fell off. But yeah, I'm currently 60% through this. I have already heard his story, or at least bits and pieces of his story, several times, having watched a lot of his interviews that he's done to promote his book. And it's fascinating to me to see the impact that Mormonism, and specifically when it comes to the religious drama here, his family was Mormon. I believe he is also no longer Mormon. He also came out as queer. And I have not gotten to that part of the book. I will be so for real, but I'm very interested in hearing that. But I really enjoy hearing his story, especially as somebody who was in so much of the public eye and how busy he was and all of the like celebrities that he interacted with after his time on Idol has been super fascinating to me. But I'm glad that he's doing this and like is actually doing well now, because his life sounds very, very traumatic, but I think it is an important story to be told, and I'm excited to finish it. I'm somewhat debating whether or not to do a deep dive on it, like a whole separate video, because I have highlighted so many things in the book, and I feel like it would be a very interesting discussion on deconstruction in general, so I may do that. We'll see. I do have 2 or 3 other library books that I need to get to in the next week, and then I'll probably eventually end this vlog, but I have not been reading at a very fast pace. And I also haven't been sleeping, so I'm exhausted, so I may be very, very low energy, but that is the update that I have for you now. Hello, guess who finally just filmed a sit-down video for the first time in months, but I wanted to update my vlog while I'm thinking about filming, because otherwise I will forget. So I am currently in the middle of Yesteryear, and I'm loving it. I haven't read it in like an entire day because I've been stressed out about everything that's going on out there. I can't get it to focus. If you are in Michigan and you're in the same boat as me and having to deal with the constant storms, I don't even know if I've mentioned this in the vlog. I've been reading it. I've been filming it for like over a week. The storms here have been awful. Half of them, if not like 70% have been in the middle of the night. We had to get up the other night for a million tornado warnings, and we have 8 confirmed tornadoes from that night. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday night. One of them was 20 minutes from me. And I have a deathly fear of tornadoes. So it's been a week. Not a whole lot of reading has been happening. I'm doing other things to de-stress. But God, did I even finish? I think I finished talking about David Archuleta's book. I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Will be recommending that in all of the deconstruction book series that I've been planning for a while. But Yesteryear, which is what I was talking about. This book is the story of a trad wife, like a current day influencer. If you are up with the trad wife nonsense, the big ones are Nara Smith and Ballerina Farm, which is Hannah Nealman. As someone who's fascinated yet utterly terrified by trad wives, as somebody who came out of evangelical culture and knows how hard they push for you to be a trad wife, I knew this book would be for me. I'm about halfway done with it. I'll probably end up finishing it today, hopefully. And we'll see if I read anything else for this vlog or if it ends up going up soon. But this is the story of her being an influencer. I love the way her inner monologue is like constantly talking down to her followers. She's like a big online influencer trad wife. And the way she thinks about her followers, she calls them the angry women, about the people who disagree with her lifestyle, and she's so judgmental of every other human being she even comes into contact with. It's fascinating to hear this perspective from a trad wife. I'm loving it. I've just got to the part where the big thing for this book is that she gets launched back in time somehow and actually has to live as a literal traditional wife back in, I want to say, the 1800s. Because there's no electricity. I'm so excited that this book is out. I think more people need to read it. I've heard a lot of people say this is actually really boring, and I'm like, are we reading the same book, or did you just not grow up with this religious trauma that I did? I think that might be the case, because a lot of people were like, nothing happens in this book. It's really boring. And I was like, I don't think that's the point of the book. It's not supposed to have that interesting of a plot. It's just talking about trad wife culture. And it's definitely for me. So I'm excited to finish this, and I will definitely come and wrap that up when I do. But I have a few things I wanted to get into in this clip because I've been meaning to talk about them, and I keep filming like 2-minute clips and then forgetting to talk about them. One, I'm really into the analog diaries thing. I feel like everyone and their mother, I haven't seen enough TikTok, but I also haven't scrolled TikTok since the sale of it months ago. I go on there, I watch my like 10 people that post there that I actually like, and then I leave. I don't even go near my For You page anymore, so that's giving me more time to do other things, but also it's somewhat depressing. Anyways, I've been really into the analog diaries, analog trend, like analog bag, whatever you want to say. And I wish that I was in more of a stable situation, like financially and just like moving wise. I don't know if I've mentioned on here, we're probably going to end up moving again in the next few months. And as somebody who has moved 3 times in the last year, that's very stressful, especially when like 90% of our stuff is still in a storage unit. Anyways, I am not in a position to go buy a boombox and like buy a bunch of CDs because I don't have room for that right now. Maybe eventually, but I'm really enjoying seeing everybody go back to like the like nostalgic time of like the late 90s and the early 2000s, which is when I grew up. It's been very healing for me to see people reverting back to that because I am not a fan of all the streaming services, and like I've used them. I've used Apple Music for years because that's where you could get like credit for streaming the K-pop boys, and as somebody who's been into K-pop since like 2017, 2018, it used to be a big deal there. Now streaming, I feel like, has got out of hand just as much as a lot of the, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of the fandoms in general have gotten out of hand with K-pop. But it's been really nice seeing the nostalgia trips people have been going on with the analog diaries thing. It is now spring in Detroit, as we can see by the horrors of the weather. But there are 2 places I want to go to, especially with our talk of moving and stuff. I've been wanting to check out 2 or 3 places, 2 mainly, because a person I follow on here, August is reading. I don't even think she follows me, but I've been really enjoying her videos, and she was local. She's local to Detroit, which I don't think I ever knew, and I've been here for 6 months. And as somebody who has not gone outside at all in the winter, one, because it was too cold, the weather was awful, and bad mental health in general in winter, but also from all the moving and the stress of the last like year for me. We haven't really gone out to explore very much. We've gone to Ann Arbor, I think, once since we've been here. I've been to Ann Arbor several times before. I really love that city. We're about 45 minutes from it where we are now. And I'm really stressed out because it feels like going outside costs $150 no matter what I do. If you can relate to that, please complain in the comments down below so we can commiserate together. But there's two places I want to go. I want to go to Book Off. I kept seeing the advertisement for this on social media. I want to say most of it was on Facebook of all places. And it's supposedly like a bookstore, and I kept seeing the advertisement for it, and I saw one opened up in Novi, and I was like, I don't even know what that is. And then August went to it in her vlog, and it turns out it's actually used books, which I had no idea. I just assumed it was all like new books, like a lot of new bookstores that are opening. But used books is much more manageable for my wallet, so we may go check that out. And then supposedly right next door there is a place called Colosseum, and it is all claw machines. And as a 90s kid who was obsessed with stuffed animals, I had quite literally 150 to like 200 stuffed animals. I had a list of all of their names. I knew all of their names. I knew all of their personalities. I was a kid who grew up on Animal Planet. I feel like that should explain a lot. I was devastated when Steve Irwin died. Like, that is the vibe of me as a child. As somebody with 200 stuffed animals, so the way I got a lot of those was doing claw machines. There was one in my local Kmart when I was growing up, and they would get so mad at me because I would win them over and over and over. So, as somebody who has a nostalgia thing for claw machines, I feel like Colosseum is for me. So I think I need to go check that out. There's also a K-pop store over in that general area, I think further out, that I really want to go see because I want more skazoos. I've been sitting here with, oh, you can see some of them in the background. I have some of my 10-inch skazoos and like pillows and stuff. I don't know if they have skazoos at this place, but I haven't been in a K-pop store since I lived in Georgia. And there were two in Atlanta, and I'm not even sure that the other one in Atlanta still exists where I got all of my like fake skazoos. And that devastates me because I love that store so much. But that's my update on the K-pop things. There's been a lot going on in my brain. I've been struggling to read. I also am like trying, now that I have the time, to like film more during the day because I was working around my partner's schedule. I'm actually planning out videos for the next like 2 months. And I'm already starting to think of like my Pride videos, because there were so many videos I wanted to film for Pride last year, and I didn't get around to it because we were moving at the time. We moved at the very, very beginning of July, so we spent all of June packing, and it was very stressful. So I'm hoping that I have the time and the spoons and the brain power to film a bunch of books for Pride, as well as a bunch of videos, a bunch of books, film a bunch of books. I'm losing my mind. Is to film a bunch of videos for Pride recommendations and stuff. And I have a bunch of vlogs. How many times can I say the word bunch? I have a lot of vlogs planned. I'm hoping to get more sit down videos in because I haven't been filming those at all for the last like 6 months. And yeah, this clip is getting long, so I am going to get off of here. Hopefully go read some of Yesteryear and edit the other sit down video that I just filmed. I filmed a nonfiction book recs. I don't know which one of these is going up, so maybe it's up if you're watching this. If it is, please go watch it, because it took me a long time to film. I'll talk to y'all later. Hello, I'm here to close out the vlog because I finally finished Yesteryear. And I think I just read my favorite book of the year in April. I feel like this is also a similar time. I feel like I tend to read one of my like top 3 favorites at this time of the year. I don't know what the logic is behind that. Whether I read my favorites in like March or April. I think even last year my favorite book was the Sharon M. Draper's, and I read that one in January, so I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I feel like I should look back on that on all my favorite videos. That would be interesting. But This was fantastic. This has so much commentary on tradwife culture and just like religion and how it can be used and abused in general. It has so many commentaries about the manosphere because her husband gets involved. He's like relatively normal and kind of dumb when they first meet. And then he gets involved in manosphere content on the internet. I also loved the twist and figuring out why she was in the other timeline that we have of her being back in the 1800s, living actual traditional life. I love this so much. So yeah, this is currently number one in the running for my favorite book of the year, which was not how I expected this to go. I expected to like it. That's for sure. I'm also now determined to compile a tradwife book recommendation, commentary on tradwife culture, commentary on like current mainstream Christian culture. I also went to the actual Goodreads reviews, which I feel like I never do. Every once in a while I will, when it's a book I haven't heard really anybody talk about. And the reviews for this one cracked me up because it was literally like people were like, "This is really cool. I like the commentary," and then there were people who hated this. If I had to guess based on their reviews, they were like, this author didn't know anything about Christian culture, and I don't endorse mockery, and I don't believe we should make fun of the religions. And I was like, if you felt that this book made fun of your religion, I feel like that means you saw yourself in this a little bit, which is something I feel like you should have deconstructed and should be looking into, because there very much are people like this in the Christian influencer spaces. This also had such good commentary on influencers in general, which it was so good. Like 6 out of 5 stars. Obsessed. And now I'm going to end this vlog here because I don't think I could top that one. I also do want to go edit my other video, which is going up tomorrow. I'm trying to get back to my Tuesday and Friday upload schedule, which I haven't done in months because scheduling conflicts and me trying to figure out how to film and me having the plague for like a month and a half of the last 4 months. So there's that. I hope that I actually wrapped up all the books that I read in this. I know I read David Archuleta's book. I read Yesteryear. What was I reading at the beginning of this? Oh, I read the For Human Use, which I didn't like. I already forgot that I read that one, but I think those are all the books I read up in this. I read during this. I'm going to probably start another vlog, just like a miscellaneous books that I read over the next like week or two. I am also planning on writing. I can't talk today. I'm also planning on reading I have a bunch of political graphic novels. Like I have Mouse, I have a book called American Cult, and I have the graphic novel of On Tyranny. So that's probably gonna be one of my next reading vlogs, is reading those, because I've been meaning to do that for the last year. And it hasn't happened. So I'm trying to get back on track and get all of the videos out, get back to a 2 videos a week schedule. Hopefully that is the plan, because I want to be back on track for all of my Pride videos in June, which I definitely fell off of because I was moving during that time last year. But that's all for this video. If there's a book we talked about in this that I forgot, I will leave it here. If not, please leave me the camera emoji, or like the film camera emoji, in the comments down below for Yesteryear. If you've read it, please talk to me. I've only seen like one other person. I've seen Jess Owens talk about it and about how she loved it and how she was comparing it to those Book Dominion. That's on my TBR as well. And I think we need to be discussing the tradwife culture more, because it scares the shit out of me as an ex-fundamentalist Christian. But I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.